Yeah, Baba. Yeah, Baba. It's neat.
Hello, Temo Femo yote, yamo femo awawa tu kembani tete TV. Oira don akengmene we ofe beni yo kwemi o fine ko subscribe kwe. Bomode ni o subscribe o fine ko gbe na aboli. Bomode ni o share link jame no invite ameni ameba fita we agbene boli hami gonti like mo show ami e ba ngon na wa ko ye dwomo ko no smo no chon o fine ka wo comment section boli agbene be nyele nchenye na ake comment na ke wo jeme fe wo kanyo ni mambia una odwen mo chomo oira don aka ofe beni o kwemi fe ma keje benyo na ebele Dr. Bawumia a speech ni ha one jula speech me one jula speech me ni some of the nibi komene iwe no le ake meneta flache ewe anu kwale waje na kan nibi ekoma akpo minele nwe ball ye videos komeni nka ba bo kono na bona beni tu ake kenke ba Dr. Bawumia is your typical politician they say no hiolo US no hiolo yo because esumoni emalewa bona beni chon ngana bi ebo ile bawulaya chemo efeme kome ake gbe na awachon shi ole lelenche eni femo e wo me call na hold am very cho mene ma try few videos kome Akuffo Addo mi efunle alanche mantin ke la ge emale no ne you ofen emale je advice keke ha Akuffo Addo jegbe han legbe ne operate president Mahama we tackle o jegbe ke la ge papa je ni pa ko da ni bi ebu enfite mo pa ko ni bi efe basa pa ko da no ta no ji o yemi ma try na kan video se unfe ma bo shi before no ba bote Dr. Bawumia mene inka baba ya Ashanti Mahama fioni inanoko we Germany very very interesting. Now 3 weeks ago, I believe 2 weeks ago, ni in neke article ne get me be on Twitter ake some of the artifacts ni blofo me ba ju keje Ashanti Kingdom in the 1800s say amekba loan wo back but let's come on ni I think I get in retweet body in where how do you have loot and loan in the same sentence? Kamokonoko no ba loot ojuju no ju loot is just a fancy word for stealing. Boda benincho obaju no ba ju kebe she ni bolencho na ke ni na ju ni wo ba ju no ye no che kemo ni ales nye ba loan wo for me ni dwemo be mi bona benincho. Anyways, so mene akena ke ni bi e ba ya Ashanti Mahama bona benincho akeba ni Ashanti Kingdom me organize a huge derby ni ameka welcome ni bi now apparently ni bi ne ake allow majority of Nibine from Sagrenti War in 1874. Bona beninchon. So 1874 ni allow neke Nibine from the Ashanti Kingdom from the Third Anglo-Ashanti War. Ashanti over 4,000 of their men were killed during the war. So blofo men na upper hand ni ame low ni bi eboli for a while. The Ashanti army was very very strong. They one of the few armies they were able to hold blofo men born beninchon up until ni if you make 1874 no from the war no naga me lose a lot of men. The honey neke bi ne PJ Amede. She afe yake akbar return now many 7 of them University of California UCLA Los Angeles museum many ake 7 of them but chono wage 39 of them na ba return Keba Ashanti Kingdom. And now mind you BBC article I can loan ni onake blofo me amebu was still bona benincho oba mokoma oba jueni oba gbe ewebi kajibolencho tashi no na alopo akabo ba yu na akwa daddy papa woni di woni be nyeke ni bia me back bona benincho nyeke ni bia me back she nyeke ba loan ame I can loan you for what te fio te moko ni le denche ni I can loan ole dabi blofo me ona no na me fio ona no na me fio ne moko denche nye ni no ba juwe kok ma mo mba kok can loan ile okay dabi no shishi te fio te ju can loan fair your the same sentence me no shishi ona benincho that goes to tell you my name is still amebu bona benincho ni ke kan come to esque ne ke ni ne ka ke ake fan ba esa na eku ese don bon je ama me no mi esa na eku ese don ju na me ba ju so esa na eku ese don Bona Benincho. So first one there Banito Benin Kebo, there was a huge derba ni ake artifacts neni blofome ba jue video ni match mobana ke President Mahama a fine time they te jame Dr. Bawumia ke enga Samira Bawumia ama me fine time they te jame. It was a huge derba mancheme fe ni yo Ashanti Kingdom me shishie am fe they were present at the derba ofane anima twa video mabo koni wako.
Thursday's Durbar at the Mensha Palace was held under mixed feelings by Ashanti chiefs, led by the Ashanti Hini, Akuffo Addo II, dubbed Kuntunkuni Thursday. Chiefs of Ashanti mine from all over Ghana wore black cloth in memory of the devastation the Sagranti War brought onto the Ashanti Kingdom. The British Army, led by Major General Garnet Worsley, staged an unprovoked attack on Ashanti, razed its capital Kumasi, and looted gold and ornaments. Over 4,000 soldiers of the dreaded Ashanti army were killed, including its warlord Bantmahini Bafo Amankwetia and several other prominent Ashanti chiefs. Sounds of gunfire and firing of musketry hovered over the Mensha Palace as Ashanti chiefs marked the anniversary of the war. It also marked the return of 7 artifacts returned from the Fowler Museum at the University of California in the United States.
We are delighted to see them come back to the palace and to the descendants of the rightful owners.
Ashanti Akuffo Addo II, who officially received the artifacts, called for unity as he spoke about failed attempts to destroy the Ashanti Kingdom.
Palace, Mensha Palace, museum, yajame. Na mlencha me keep yajame.
Nemom dia wasa Ghana fo hunu ne se wo ye dan wutumi Ashanti free Ghana se muda amonyefo asofo when wutumi Ashanti free muda wo kaso obe Ashanti free wo de time better ye ebebu afa so nunti mom ye nyina mom ye mfa do enkambom ne enta yani etra dem popoditi Ashanti man ye nya na enye ye yan ya de doni enkabomo na te ha minana mo wozongo nyina minana min wo mo te afefefe anwura fo me ne na te ama me ba bi ate efe na anwuraga enzima fo me ne na te enzima hene beta traditional council Enfantifo ehine wa ha wotimu bi na de ebone ni aye edope ni enche ko ba bi so obenya Ashanti nutan wo ho a na adenti ni e kire do we na so mo de tan Asia ye momie nyina nya ba ko ni enfa mu aga na mai amanyokuo nu nyina hu Ashanti ni mu a enye ye.
According to the Ashanti Hini, the independent Ashanti existed several years before the emergence of Ghana. He noted the contribution of Ashanti, especially in Ghanaian politics, is unmatched and cannot be sidelined in all spheres.
Vice President Dr. Bawumia or President Mahama so it was a very big occasion and a lot of people graced it, which is really nice.
Yes, trained the Free British Museum, Baba. No, you see, Abusumi 9 num no Baba. And no bad, and I'm not going
Ni na me badu. Ni me badu. Che komo ni no ko ne. Che komo. 1800s no ko. Che komo.
Whilst reminding Ashantis of their call to duty to defend the kingdom at all times as done by their forefathers with their blood, the Ashanti Hini advised the youth to desist from drug and substance abuse.
Fear wa ha ne aduonu ni broni besa ekro no. Na so ye sikadwade obi ani wo timi de nsa aka da. Atue ko hin nyina de aba Ashanti mam sikadwa obi ansa nka da. Enu ne kura Ashanti man kra. Enu ne asem to ne na Ashanti man abo. Na sikadwa da tiase ne wo ho de broni antimi obi ani ho obetimi And no na me person nana no nyina ade hu sa Asante man that ya. Nanan mu ade hu moja na koje me. Iti nei mu nyina ran fan hyem mu se o se mokum ho de gi Asante man. Emrantie ne maba nsanwe ni wi no yenya ni nyina ne emfa ho de fa nye kure ma. Na sa ne de chicha Asante man.
Meanwhile, the Asante Hene says efforts are underway to repatriate 32 artifacts kept in the British Museum. From Kumasi,
right? So, video it was a very colorful ceremony. So, rest of them from the British Museum in April. In April, the rest of the artifacts, once again, I'm a Jew. Like I said, looting is just a fancy word for stealing. I'm a Jew. I really hope I can square no go naked. Can you no go clap? Yeah, now I think we square by quiz. Don't. Yeah, if you talk about Jew money, no back, okay, low name. Bona bolenche kokwe some of these ornaments no back lele enemy 1800s look way on a pure gold denche pure gold bona ni ame keep ya ame museums na ame mo make eshika me nkwe na make eshika na ame ye. You understand what I'm saying? I make a eshika na ame ye ike menshia palace museum ye me bona benincho museum again. I really hope I can screen the can be nene ba ne sa na kwese don na me de ncha me ka wo am museum me ona benincho na me me abakwa ye me kona pe ameshika bona benincho platform ame bu wa ame bu wa kabata bia ne ojumoni no ojumoni enwo oke loan le dabi ene ta flat ejomo emi te fi oton ju money ni ko jumoni atan o ba ko after over 150 years okay iye mi ni sa nyonye yi akoni shishi enye yi bona benito she amegen loan kake ba April o ba na after a while fe ba kwese ke museum zien e yo I think that is the agreement na fe bona benito she ole ke agreement di po ya na fe polen cha sani sku nge ka kuse na ete museum ne me nge esa na ke ha me don na me ke kwa me se kono ni ba ba esa na ke ha me don na me ke kwa me se kono ni ba ba ye nini me nya me ni nye ba ju 150 years later nye ba nye low na me bona benito nge me ne me sani sku no funu na ba nya fe ne ka kwese don bona benincho eka kwese don. It is crazy. Ona benincho it is crazy. Ona meni me taje me fe amena na kanswa ka amena na shushu ke ni bi na me komo ba ko na me na ga me ngbe. Ona blofo me le mo ba na me bobo she no na me fe ona anyways. And no jino ning ba jinshi abo mene bole isumo nu oba che oba bote Dr. Bawumia san the few come and we read some of the headlines ni eteno mene ege wo me ole to Benin about Dr. Bawumia a better credibility. No, everybody is calling him to order. Bona Benin Choni, I think Akuffo Addo na neke no kubaba. Biamini ame boing presidential primary say femo to Akuffo Addo na there will come a time ni Dr. Bawumia ba try ke ba separate itself from le ole mi na no na Akuffo Addo ba ni ehihie ke kendo foriata ke Gabio Chiraku na ka chimbi efe mi na no ni ame ya speech ni Dr. Bawumia ha ehihie. Because I'm a liake, Jemmy Dr. Bawumia ba kick me under the bus. Ake ni bi ani ya no fele advice mo pay advice so. Ni efe to mo Dr. Bawumia ke we be from you ake o vice president le advice o money ba ko alo money sumo ne ba ko president ni. Bona benincho. So I can understand why na Akuffo Addo ya speech here because na ke Dr. Bawumia ni bi pakpa ele eke ake ele eko nefita inafe shini bi enu enya lo no ni bi enefe basafi le ejemi ake onu ele ngape nga ewo bona benincho ni mi ke baka look last year mi to Akuffo Addo ke like you cannot do that because Ghana bi jebu liji ame ona benincho inono jino ni ya no Ghana bin bash left right and center mo fe mo ande na ke da bi jebu liji wo onye no ba ke wa monton na keshi no ni ya no government emie bu nga po. You cannot say that. Bona Benicho, you cannot say that. But the chair of the economic management team, negotiations now feel okay. IMF, otamieko, yamieko. all these decisions now take up because of the economy. Oyemieko Akuffo Addo lenche kake le economy ebo modern yemi. He's a lawyer, he's a politician, he's not an economist. Bwana benicho no ekebo ba ne kake bo ono economist ni jibue ekobe. Ona benicho ni problems in Ghana be cho mi fe bono baba no ba je Ghana be na kan problem me. Ona so oba kemo ne kenoko nike okele ne kenoko eke agbene ni fitemu eba eke ota no okefa adole pampang. Bona benicho ni nke Akuffo Addo na nekeni ne he saw it. As far back as last year, bene buen campaign femo ni mo femo yake o Dr. Bawumia le ngape wo the way na economy fene na kentem na Akuffo Addo kele ke lu Ghana bi jebulu nka Akuffo Addo kele o fa ne awako Akuffo Addo.
What we gain by attacking the record of our own government. When you do that, then you become then party candidate. What are you going to tell the people of Ghana? Oh, it was Akuffo Addo who misled you and mismanaged affairs. I will be different, even though I am MPP. I'm still under the Oslo sign. I'm different. And the people of Ghana will be that gullible. No, let's be serious. So the question is, I think that if we're talking about the record of the government, my understanding is that every MPP person, communicator, or whoever you are, who is a supporter of the party, it's your duty to try and defend that record and make sure that the people of Ghana buy into that record. Because at the end of the day, once this presidential primary is over, that is going to be the issue before. Right.
Over the board, Akuffo Addo. Eke dabi. Onye no ba fe campaign no ka keshi bueno bi ni te no ye MPP government me ole eko ni ona we na use get Ghanaians are not gullible. Ghanaians are not gullible. Ni ke ka me ba ye bu yi ake all this year say ni bi eni te no fe bu obe mi eko bu ngape wo na bobutwe. Akuffo Addo kele. Nko no na Akuffo Addo e ba speech e hihie ko e. Eba speech Diego because a liake Dr. Bawumia never throw under the bus. Ne kaka mene Akuffo Addo ne taje ken wole nga eko nga kaka ni wole nga ni wole eko no ne ane me fe ba ne wana Akuffo Addo ya speech hihie. Ona benicho campaign be na me campaign for flag bearership me to ne je na Akuffo Addo na kuma Akuffo Addo dimi na ne ona mi fune ga yue na kan ni mi fune ga yue na kan ni jino bona benicho because my bio yake Dr. Bawumia no achievements no overrun on. If there is anything to a first half of the speech Choni be na me achieve ne can share ni le lead ne can effort effort. He was instrumental in this, he was instrumental in that. But ke ebale the negative say le o ka ke Akuffo Addo ngapo wole no ko ne le ole eko. Bona be more so na keno ke okwe a surrogate say ni I may move all around can ya from TV station to TV station, radio station to radio station. I may fe ka me you na ke head of the economic management team advice pe no ni president small e ba ko alo e ko no Dr. Bawumia ke le ba fe president he will be his own man le lenche ba make decisions on his own. Come on. Ona benicho still no na Akuffo Addo come Ghana be taflache je bulu ji ame. Don't come and do this. No, but I expect Ghana be but I don't know you are Ghana be ye ni like I said ke okwe a speech any the Wednesday Ghana be fame bashile. Mo fe mon kala papa no ba oba do motion no ba ke wa ke o min panye fa liake wo promise ni bi pi ni wonye ko wo fe won panye fa nye ke awo this time around the kem lenche mba makwa be ni ma fe dabi na kan be mi. She you any be na me fe ne ka she chichi ni ka she eni ni bi aja agbele e we bi a surrogate say ke party ni ne ama men ka wa ka o dabi le nga pe wo ka Akuffo Addo sumo ne ko ebu Akuffo Addo ke like in 2023 last year Akuffo Addo ke like no fi Ghana bi e bulu ji ame lele nwe na ona ebo nga wotwe moni mole aka ba ye vice president yan le e wole nga si efemini ebo twe ke abotwe ne ene me ba nole na ke yemo ne yu ofin amale son olo ni ko ba ka amale komo fly ni ke me bi Alan Chairmantin the sitting president has been fair to the vice president. He has given him all the opportunity to run this country. Mind you, Alan Chairmantin, he was the minister for Trade and Industry. And I'm a regime cabinet minister ni. Cabinet meetings me. Wale ni Dr. Bawumia yo. No akagmene no efwe ne ba ne kakele ngape wo. Dabi Alan Chomantike Emale. The president gave him all the power to run this country. Come on. He has given him all the opportunity to run this country. Alan Chomantin, he was a cabinet minister. He was part of the administration. No, Dr. Bawumia no ni ya no me. Hardship ni Ghana be chomie. He cannot absorb himself from it. Enye decouple from the president and this current administration. It's not gonna wash. No matter how neighbor try a worky. Bona Benicho, come another flag in maybe Alan Chamantino. Bawumia can't absorb himself from economic mess. He cannot. Bawumia can't absorb himself from the economic mess. And yeah, the guy is the head of the economic management team. He is the head. Le leader, le cho meetings. Akuffo Addo ke Ghana bi akele economy elemi ojogba no ewo Dr. Bawumia ke ba neighbor wale na rani ma. Again, many obaka kedabi buenga power. Come on, Alan Chairmantin ekelefe your cabinet cabinet meeting say me Alan kedabi opportunity for us and Akuffo Addo ale na can run contract Akuffo Addo ale no enyefo eneba ka ke no ni ya no eleko bana benincho enyefo eneba ka ke no ni ya no eleko ni me president Mahama hu ke hale ega masa ye kpako ni bi efite ni nye fenye bad policy say ekpata ni bi ayen kpako no bo ba ke Ghana bi ake bolego oyemi eko jogbo ofane awo president Mahama to.
Now all those who contributed to the mess are trying to run away as if they were not part of it. People have begun saying, oh, they were not in charge, they were not listening to them and all that. All of them, they inside. Jack Toronto and all his small brothers, all of them
they inside there,
are part of the mess that we're going through. None of them can escape responsibility. None of them. Because they've all been a part of this. They all sat in cabinet together. They all took those decisions together. Anytime they were going to borrow from the Eurobond market, they approved it in cabinet. They sat in cabinet and approved it. In 6 years, you went and borrowed $13.5 billion. And you did nothing with it. So today you can't come and tell us you were not part of it.
$13.5 billion. $13.5 billion.
All of them are part of the mess in which we find ourselves. And Ghanaians are going to send them packing for the hardship that they've inflicted on us, for the debt that they've swallowed us in. And they must go home and go and learn their lesson. NDC is coming back, winning this election, and we have the men and women that are going to restore this country's economy and finances back to a healthy condition.
Right. So if I get video, so President Mahama dabi onyo joye mi. E get them all day inside Jack Toronto. Akuffo Addo be President Mahama. I got Charlie Jack Toronto. I get Jack Toronto them all day inside. I got President Mahama. Onyo joye mi. You cannot. They all sat in the same cabinet meeting. Now me fat. Come on, Ashanti President Mahama chair. $13.5 billion. $13.5 billion. Na ken shika ameka amefa. No ni Ghana your economic mess name ye. Shika aka anashika aka fe wo nyumo. Nyumo pole nche shika na e share wo. Anya service debt anya. Amefa $13.5 billion. Mina aka fe. Bona Benicho in Kebake amena tax proceeds femo because the President Mahama Bashie I discovered 2 additional oil fields. Men I remember na men China me Bona Benicho amena me back come taxes different now me can me Ghana biano. So these guys are getting more money than any other government in the history of the Fourth Republic. Ame fashika femo $13.5 billion. On a mention, men over back Ghana be ake oleeko. Mokomoko hele ye. Bona Benichon, mokomoko hele ye ni asana kick me out. Like I said, Sana kick me out. Ghana be we are too smart. Bona Benichon, too smart. What for many akame shalash neke? ofite no fe no bo ke wa ke ko we bi enye ba nye osapate enye ba nye nke wa ke boy advice po ha hey Mr. Vice President advice po ha bona Benicho Akuffo Addo kele in 2023 bo na video ni ntwa eke Ghana bi eje bulu iji ame you are part of the administration onyenu because you run for president wo obaka ke ni bi ni ya no ole konijo is like ngapo wo da bi ebu Akuffo Addo to no one Akuffo Addo e ba speech e that is why he didn't show up no one can foreta ba no one gabi order na kan chimbi fm ke bogmene wa wo bo keja eko keba oba febo vice president bogmene no run for president o chioye wo yi ochioye wo yi no ni wa administration miele o ko shi no ne sale o kebu ole ko ngapo wo bona Benicho no Ghana Dr. Bawumia esani mogomoko here le klo ye ko hello here like I said at your own peril bona Benicho sana chaki ame oni shishi anyways before any mashibwe ani wakwa a few headlines in kaba gmene video bona first one in game be agwamo 165 Ghanaians repatriated from Libya mobo ona Benicho I mean it's really sad Ghana be because of the way you run what country kabata bi anolwe ame ba shi Ghana na me fangbani ame ya Libya I mean come on you understand what I'm saying Libya bona mini Libya yo ni we be ko Ghana mini Libya yo ni we be ko Ghana na sani Ghana bi ame full desert anye desert no beni me komepo ame gbo po na ame share Libya po na me gbo bona Benicho ame share Libya po na me gbo mini wo yo alo mini Libya yo ni Ghana be ko ni wonye wa fe wo man ken ko ni wo mambi amenya ame imami na ame chuni politicians ame bo wa blow ame bo wa blow wa adenche next headline the informer with honesty integrity I'll make positive difference Bawumia pledges papa no you are mogomogo bobo to Ghana bi mo fe mo le akese o male no wona me wo bo bawulaya le marathon akena ken afe marathon asete ko ale ne ba male so 1 year e ba male so 1 year liaton liaton onim sisi positive difference ko club no ba make you've had an opportunity to do that for the past 7 years this is the 8th year ona Benicho and you've done ofeko nakai noko bona so Ghana be able ye don agrobe so na every anopa anyway the Daily Statesman Gabio Chudaku a publication it get Bawumia's vision good for business Guta boss happy about reforming port taxes yeah what Ghana what port taxes na get more man no le too much yeah so ke ba nye fele ba mene yele ye mi ke ba nye bo on graph any machine I me promise IMF be no conclude le we nye campaign no ne promise no conclude amale so emalio he has no credibility ona Benicho the Republic Press again Ghana is at a crossroads Kufuor admits as he endorses Bawumia indeed we are at a crossroads whether work amale ni MPPB ne you obaya alo oba chake mi ni wo fun shiki papa bona Benicho so President Kufuor no ngebo you ale no you ale ngebo pa agbe si ojomo no ke you aje na ke njomo ngebo pa agbe bona Benicho yeah are we going to continue with these lies government amale so amale alo oba chake mi ni me ko ba at least for a little bit gonna shake ni bi am feel bona Benicho anyway Daily Graphic public scrutinize Bawumia's vision. Of course, from the Daily Graphic, public scrutinize Bawumia's vision because Ghana be I mean here Chile I'm a taflache. So onyo banoba oba you go gana ba in 2008 na me fake campaign 2012 2014 15, no me fair it was an unknown commodity. Bona Benicho yeah it was an unknown commodity. Be an men na get mene amaleson Ghanaian Times get disclose funding sources. Bona Benicho political party say I'm a funding source say le come banya me disclose say eba help with the fight against corruption. Bona Benicho politicians say ojo na me trash ka kwashi ani bi so ameke feel. Daily Post ke how Alhaji Bawumia hammered the last nail into his own coffin. How Alhaji Bawumia hammered the last nail into his own coffin. With more false promises, lies, and half-truths. With more false promises, lies and half-truths. Yeah, so Dr. Bawumia le mo fe mo enale. The Daily Dispatch, the economic management team, which I chair, has no decision-making powers. Bawumia, you understand what I'm saying? Exactly. No, you are here. No, you are here. Ni Ghana be here. Ole, if there is, KG, if it's a smart political student, backlash na with neke push na me back pa you mo na mba check message. Bona be ninchonshi, boli ne bagbo, ka me check message lenche de bagbo. The Chronicle care, I saw leadership in Bawumia once again. President Akuffo, the first time I met him, with leadership no one amale song. And Daily Guide get Bawumia is man of destiny once again. Akuffo le yan endorsement to do ba in mind you back in speech. Akuffo you for about 10 minutes. Glowing tributes. Glowing. Ona be ninchon. Remarks they make about Dr. Bawumia, massive. So yeah, one of the headlines say organized labor suspends demo against 15% VAT on electricity. Right? Ben Kebaka government decide that 15% VAT VAT and electricity for me. So Koba organized labor kata February 13th. Born Benincho no na me for me amo make strike call it off. Nunga maybe a government suspends implementation of 15% VAT on electricity. Now, Agbenenwe, gays and lesbians caught in the act to face minimum 2 months in prison and maximum 6 months in prison. Law ni parliament I think town na me pass amount on born Benincho no find if you belong to the LGBTQ plus community if I be careful in Ghana no ni ya no ejemenele wasube eshi born Benincho na ke parliament approves 3 to 5 years jail term for promoters of LGBTQ plus no jemeni me kak if you are caught in the act to be other flyer 3 to 6 months in prison she can anagabue or promoter 3 to 5 years in prison. No, like I said, if you belong to this group, Ghana, anyway, these are some of the few headlines thing in Kamabo. Don't ake ofe be no kwemi. Subscribe kwe bomodeni o subscribe ko gbe no find bomodeni no share link no kiameni o invite am na me ba fit away. Agbenenwe ko ejomo ko no small no chon o find ka comment section ani in kan no fe no na ke wo jeme. Don twa no manye no afo no. Bye bye.
Yeah, Baba. Yeah, Baba. It's neat. Them say you want to chop my